Thank you all for coming today. My name is Lieutenant Steve Dorris, D-O-R-R-I-S. I'm the lieutenant over the Criminal Investigations Division of the Baytown Police Department. With me today I have members from Crime Stoppers, Randy Strong and Greg Garrett, G-A-R-R-E-T-T.
Yes, sir.
To my right, I have Detective Green and Detective Elizondo, two of the investigators on the case that we're going to talk about today. And also with me is David Englerth, E-N-G-L-E-R-T-H. He is the husband of our victim. I'm going to read a prepared statement to everybody, and then we'll be able to answer a few questions. However, please understand we're not going to discuss any of the details of the investigation because it is still an active investigation. So please be considerate of that. That's the only way that we can really maintain the integrity of our case, okay? On Mother's Day, May 8th, 2016 at 9:44 p.m., Baytown Police responded to a welfare concern at the Lakes and Madera Apartments located at 305 West Baker here in Baytown. The husband had contacted the police after several failed attempts were made to reach his wife by phone. When officers arrived, they observed through a window the lifeless body of 50-year-old Natalia Schau of Baytown. Officers made forced entry into the locked apartment and discovered Ms. Schau had been brutally murdered. Our detectives have been investigating this murder for over 5 months now and have recently located a witness who provided investigators with a description of a black male that was seen earlier that day near Ms. Schau's apartment. With the help of this witness, we were able to develop a sketch of this person who at this time is considered a person of interest. We do not know what, if any, involvement this person has in the murder of Ms. Schau. However, we do need to locate him so he can be interviewed. We are asking for the public's help in identifying and locating this person of interest, as well as any information that would help us solve this crime and help the family of Ms. Schau start the healing process. Due to the brutal nature of this crime, Baytown Crime Stoppers has agreed to raise the reward for information leading to the arrest and charge of the person responsible for Ms. Schau's murder to $25,000. We're asking anyone that may have information about the events leading up to Ms. Schau's death to please contact the Baytown Police Department at 281-422-8371, or they can remain anonymous by contacting Baytown Crime Stoppers at 281-427-TIPS or 8477. You can also log on to the Baytown Crime Stoppers website and do it online and remain anonymous. Now we'll take a few questions, keeping in mind we're not going to discuss details of the case, if anybody has any.
Do you have a motive?
No, sir, we do not at this time.
Is this a possible suspect or just a person of interest?
At this point, we're considering a person of interest. Like I said earlier, we don't know what, if any, their involvement in this case is. We just know that they were seen near the victim's apartment around the same time frame.
When you say she was brutally murdered, was she shot? What happened exactly?
Again, we're not going to get into those details at this time, okay? The case is still active, so to release anything like that could be detrimental to our case.
Why has it been a hard case to solve?
Lack of leads, and which is kind of the purpose of us having this press conference today, to try to generate some leads in this investigation. We're confident that somebody out there knows something, and we would just encourage whoever that is to come forward. If they have to do it through Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous, we certainly understand that and we appreciate that. But the most important thing is that you come forward and give us some information to help us solve this case.
And I'm sorry, you might have said this. When did this happen during the day, or were there people around, or is that?
The homicide occurred on May 8th, which was Mother's Day. The time of the day we're not going to really discuss when it happened. Again, those are some minor details in the investigation that we need to kind of keep to ourselves at this time. Yes?
This new description and sketch that you have, was that, how did that come about? I know y'all have been canvassing the apartment again, or is it someone who just turned up? Or
We found this witness just basically through hard detective work, knocking on a lot of doors, asking a lot of questions. Sometimes that's the nature of these investigations. You talk about canvassing. We did a lot of it in this case. Came out on Sundays, knocked on virtually every door in that apartment complex to try to generate some leads and some information. The description that we have that this is based off of is a black male, dark-skinned, very thin build, 6 feet plus, late teens, early 20s possibly. In the sketch you'll see he's wearing a hoodie and what looks like a do-rag underneath the hoodie.
What's the age range?
Based off our witness, the late teens to early 20s.
You mind if you can get to the point?
You feel like you can answer some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Just a few, okay, folks?
Tell us how you feel.
I met my wife in 2003 when I was living in Germany, there for the military. And met her in Prague, Czech Republic. I was just visiting. She lived there. She'd been living there for like 13 years already. She's Ukrainian, but she had a Czech residence passport. She and her son, my stepson, Dima. And so we knew each other for a total of 13 years. And we were married for 9 of those. And when I retired out of the military in 2012, I was trying to get her over here. But she still had a job over there, and she still had her son over there. So we were caught between Europe and America until we could get everything worked out. And she's the only woman I've ever loved. Period. You know. So, people talk about soulmates. We were, no doubt. She put up with me for 13 years. And I'm not an easy person to get along with. So, she was beautiful, inside and out. And she was smart. She was tough. She spoke 7 languages. I barely get through English. You know? I was so impressed with her. She was a businesswoman. She had a good head on her shoulders. She knew how to make money and how to be successful. So I was impressed with her. I admired her. And I loved her. And in one day, we had just talked with each other for over an hour on the phone the very day before. And I didn't want anybody dropping Mother's Day flowers by her, so I bought her Mother's Day flowers on the 4th, which was 4 days before Mother's Day. Those flowers were still sitting on the table when all this happened. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Folks, again, that's going to be all the questions that we're going to take for today. I really appreciate y'all coming out. We really need to get this information out there, to get the sketch out there, and hope that somebody will reach out to us with some good information.